We all know what happened in the movie, but what actually happened in the comic book?
Rorschach's Journal, October 12th, 1985. Dog carcass in alley this morning. Tire tread on burst stomach. This city is afraid of me. I have seen its true face. The streets are extended, gutters are full of blood, and when the drains finally scab over, all the vermin will drown. The accumulated filth of all their sex and murder will foam up about their waists, and all the whores and politicians will look up and shout, "Save us!" and idly look down and whisper. No, they had a choice. All of them. They could have followed in the footsteps of good men like my father, or President Truman, decent man, who believed in a day's work for a day's pay. Instead, they followed the droppings of lacquers and communists and didn't realize that the trail led over a precipice until it was too late. Don't tell me they didn't have a choice. Now the whole world stands on the brink, staring down into bloody hell. All those liberals and intellectuals and smooth talkers, and all of a sudden, nobody can think of anything to say.
That is quite a drop.
Yeah, poor guy. Why, no, I always wonder. Do you think you black out before you hit the sidewalk? Or what?
Frankly, I don't need to know that bad. What do you think happened here?
Well, looks like someone broke in by busting this door down. That would take either the guys or one guy on serious drugs, because the door had a chain fastened on the inside, which means that the occupant was home when it happened.
I saw the body, and he looked beefy enough to protect himself. For a guy his age, he was in terrific shape.
But you mean apart from being dead?
No, I mean this guy, this Blake guy, the occupant. He had muscles like a weightlifter. He would have put up some kind of fight, I am certain.
Yeah, well, looks like he lost. Maybe it was a couple of guys and they just overpowered him.
Maybe. The data we have suggests he has been doing some sort of overseas diplomatic work for years.
Lot of classy expense account living. Maybe he just got soft.
He looked as soft in this photograph. Wonder how he got this scar. It looks... Hey, the guy he has shaken hands with in the picture. It is Vice President Ford.
Hey, so it is. Well, listen, between you and me, I think we can rule him out as a suspect.
A job like this just isn't his style. It'd be real funny if we had any better leads to go on. I mean, what is this? A little money got stolen? But no way is this a straight burglary.
Somebody really had it in for this guy.
I mean, how did he go into the window?
Maybe he tripped against it.
Forget it. That a strong glass, man. You trip against it. Even a big guy like that. It don't break. I think you'd have to be thrown.
Well, if this Edward Blake was as big as you say he was, then one guy would never lift him. So we ray talking to assailants here.
Which floor y'all want?
Oh, ground floor, please.
Ground floor coming up.
So look, you haven't answered my question. Is this a burglary, or do we look for some other motive?
Listen, it could just have been a burglary. Maybe a bunch of knock-tops on KT-28s or loots. You know how it is. A lot of crazy things happen in a city this size. They don't all need motives.
So, what you're saying is...
I am saying let us not raise too much dust over this one. We don't need any masked Avengers getting interested in cutting in. Follow it up discreetly. Sure, but in public. Well, what say we let this one drop out of sight?
I don't know. I think you take this vigilante stuff too seriously. Since the Keene Act was passed in '77, only the government-sponsored weirdos are active. They don't interfere.
Screw them. What about Rorschach?
Rorschach never retired, even after him and his buddies fell to grace. Rorschach is still out there somewhere.
He is crazier than a snake-ass armpit and wanted on to Count's murder one. We got a cozy little homicide here. If he gets involved, we lead be out to our butts and corpses. What is the matter?
Nothing. Just a shiver. Must be getting a cold.